Hi everyone, my name is Rhonda Robson and welcome to my fluid art channel. I am a fluid artist right smack dab in the middle of the United States in Sioux City, Iowa. We're Iowa nice. And today's video is about the second creation that I made for my bedroom. And so it's kind of a cool effect of multiple different types of styles of fluid art. So let me show you what it looks like, the end results. Here it is. So on this one, I did a flip cup and then I did some swipes going in different direction from the flip cup while it was still wet. Then I let that dry. It didn't seem, I mean, it was okay, but it just needed something else. So then I did a swipe, kind of like a patchwork swipe technique, but instead of a patchwork, I did kind of like these bursts, almost like a firecracker burst or a flower, and there's multiple of them throughout. Then I felt like it still needed some more, so I took paint and I kind of went to town on it and created some lines, kind of crazy. I was having kind of a cool fun time with it. And then afterwards, I felt like it still was needing something else, and the whole plan was to just layer multiple different techniques to see what it would look like with the same colors. And then I did exactly what I did in the last video and created these circles by taking cups and a toilet paper, actually I think it was a paper towel, roll and dipping it into paint and then putting that on here. And I really like it. I really think it turned out really nice. It's kind of like a chaotic mess, if you will, but it's fun. It's something different. It's a nice accent for my other two creations that I'm making. So this is the second one, and I'll link the other two that I've done also in this. Thanks for joining me today. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. Thanks for joining me. Let's get you down on the canvas. Bye for now. Bye. There. Good. Now we got kind of a darker medium silver. Yeah, it's about the same silver. A little bit lighter. Mars black. Phthalo green. And this is green and black, but it is Master's Touch turquoise green and black. Titanium white. This is Arteza's gold. And then this one right here is the gold from Master's Touch. So, all right, so I'm gonna layer my cups next. And I'm gonna do 2 cups, up to about 12 ounces, if you will. Move the water off to the side here. So these are 16 ounces. So I'll probably come up to about here, which will probably be about 12 to 14 ounces. And I think I'm going to start with white on this one. And we'll do silver on this one. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite. This will be the last one I do on here, and this will be the white will be the top one that I do there. Okay. So let's go dark green next. Let's do the gold, one of the golds. This one looks like it's the Master's Touch gold. And I'm just layering it on top. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm just layering it on top. I'm not going down the side of it like I would if I was doing a ring pour, but I'm layering it on top. Okay, so let's just see, hold on. I did the dark green. Then the gold. And then I'll do silver. No. Mars black. White. Gold. Green. Oops. That was white, wasn't it? I don't want much of this green, so I'm just going to do a little bit. Then this silver. We're going to do one more layer. I'm going to go ahead, since I have enough paint, to do the whole cup. As you can see, I'm doing 2 different things here. I'm doing a flip cup, and then I'm doing this swipe, and then down the middle I'm going to try something there. But we'll see how that goes, because sometimes when you start something, it doesn't actually go that way. And I'll give you a little hint. It didn't go that way here. So I'm just getting ready here. I'm just gonna flip this cup and get started. I've already layered everything with all the colors of the greens and the golds and the gray and that type of stuff. So you can kind of see that there's silicone in this. So you can see the cells kind of popping up as the cup was flipped. And it was full, so I tell you, it was a lot in those cups. So, but here I'm just kind of putting it on the corners. Just want to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing with my flip cup, just making sure that all the paint is out
That's all I'm doing. And I know this is kind of fast forward speed type of thing, but I wanted to kind of give you just the idea of how I do this. All right, well, here you go. I'm just doing my corners, making sure that I don't have any white corners, and it's time to tilt now. So I really like these colors. It's kind of cool. It's for my bedroom. I have black and kind of off-white, and then this deep evergreen kind of color, and it's really not necessarily evergreen. This is kind of a bright green that's on this one, so we'll see how it goes. But just make sure that when you're stretching your paint that you go with the weight of the paint and making sure you get your corners and all your sides, just to make sure that there's no white left. Now you can always paint your sides beforehand by, like what I would have probably done with this one is I could have just taken that green or maybe Payne's gray and then just brushed the sides, and that kind of helps as well get prepared, especially for darker colors like this. But yeah, everybody's different in how they'd like to do it, and obviously today I didn't do it that way. So I really like how these colors are coming out, kind of like that. It reminds me of agates, and agates are kind of like geodes in a way that they have rings in them. And I really like this, although agate is more red and not green, but I do think that this is kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to swiping this to see how it kind of goes and which side I like better than the other. So hopefully it comes out really nice. So I've sped myself up a little bit more just so you can get through this section, but I still need to get paint on this one side, and I don't like all the wiggly jiggly kind of that you kind of see in there. I don't know, it just seems like the weight of the paint just didn't flow as smoothly as I was hoping that it would. So anyway, I'm just kind of fixing my sides right now, and then we're gonna head into swiping pretty quickly. If you see on either side, on the right side and on the left side, that there's just a little bit of a wave there, part of that is because I overstretched that section. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get some of that off, but if you can see it, it is overstretched. So now I'm sliding it down to kind of just making it worse. But anyway, I'm gonna fix that because I'm gonna be swiping it anyway. All right, I'm just gonna let the music take you for a while and let you watch me as I get to the point of actually swiping. Can you see how on the left-hand side it is stretched? So what I mean by overstretching your paint, it doesn't mean that the paint is too thin. It means the composition is overstretched and it's kind of making some streaky stuff. And in this particular one, I didn't want necessarily the streaks until I did the swipes. But, you know, again, I am going to swipe this, so it's not going to be that big of a deal at the end. But I keep moving it, as you see throughout this, because I'm not happy with the composition of it. But, you know, the great thing with art is you can change it. You can paint over it or you can do other stuff. So here I'm trying to decide where I want to swipe. You know, which sections do I like, which sections do I not like, and what should I do? So I am gonna take that Payne's gray and I'm just gonna go down this one section right here and swipe from here. Okay, let's use my plastic sheet and just swipe. And I'm not trying to do anything like spectacular. And I did, if you noticed, I pulled the paint over the Payne's gray. I didn't take the Payne's gray only and then pulled over. And this plastic sheet that I have, actually I got from a painting, well, from a canvas, and I just cut it up and I just keep it. So I definitely needed to swipe that section, because that was the section, if you remember, that was like overstretched. So anyway, it's really dark, so now I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the darkness or if I want to do something different. And you can kind of see that I'm trying to pull in a little bit more of the color and making that line straighter too as well. So now I'm bringing in smaller pieces of that plastic sheet and trying to bring in some of the color. And I'm not only am I pulling the color across the Payne's gray, but I'm also transposing a little bit too as well. And what I mean by transposing is taking a color and swiping it and then swiping it again without necessarily taking the color off of the plastic. Now I felt like I needed a little bit more black because I got too much white there, so that's what I'm doing now, and then I'm going to pull that big sheet across again. And I really like the way it's looking. You can kind of see some of the cells popping up from the silicone, but I think it's a little too plain. So now I'm trying to decide what it is that I want to do. So now I'm going to come across with gold. Why not, right? I mean, why not? So now let's take this gold and I'm going to swipe it in a totally different direction. Yeah, and I'm, again, using the gold, but pulling the color from above it. So I'm not pulling just from the gold down, but pulled kind of that Payne's gray in there, and it got some really cool lacing effect going on there. So I've got different movement here. I've got your flip cup, which has kind of the natural stone look. And then I have the big swipe going in the one direction, and now I'm just kind of taking this little tool and making smaller swipes. I don't know, now I'm just kind of having fun. What can I do? What can I do make it look different? Because I'm not really liking the whole composition side of things right now. And so yeah, so that's all I'm doing here. So now I'm gonna be quiet and just let you watch instead of commentating on exactly what I'm doing. So now I want to just try to have some fun because I'm really not liking the composition. So I'm just going to make some swipes utilizing a smaller piece of plastic and just try to make, I don't know, some type of composition design, movements in different directions, using the colors of the flip cup just to swipe across. So what this piece does for myself, what it teaches me, is that if you don't like something, just keep trying things. You know, and just because it dries and you don't like it, you can continue to try things. And that's what I'm learning on this piece, and you'll get to see that in the next video as well, and I'll link it right here so that you can see that this is actually not how this turns out eventually, but it starts like this. And as an artist, you know, we have sometimes one thing in mind and that goes perfect. But then there's other times, like this time, that it doesn't go the way I had planned it. It sort of goes the way I had planned it, but I didn't like it. And maybe it was the colors, maybe it was how the flip cup turned out, maybe it's how the swipes are turning out. I don't really know exactly. I can't put my finger on it, but all I know is that this is not what I really want. So I'm just playing right now, just trying to get it to have some fun, to learn different ways to swipe, what that looks like when I add like the gold or the Payne's gray to the situation. So I'm really learning some stuff right now. So I hope you are too, as well as you're watching this, and realizing that just because you started one way doesn't mean you finish in that same way. Today's video is a lot of fun things that I got to do, utilizing a lot of different techniques. And the next video will show on top of this what I do in addition to this on this particular piece.
Hey everyone, okay, so today's video is going to add layers to this. So I did a flip cup, and then I did some swipes, and so now this is dry. So now I'm going to add in some Dutch pour on top of this. So that's my plan.
Okay, so here I am pouring out some white, kind of like a little bit of a pillow, but not a pillow. And then I'm going to put some light green, some Payne's gray, some gold, and some silver. And what I'm trying to do here is I will flood my paint, but my canvas behind it is dry because I want to leave some of the canvas behind it. I'm not trying to cover the whole canvas with this Dutch pour. I'm just trying to do little sections of it, just like I did in my last video, and I'll link that right here. All right, here we go. Let's flood the paint. And then let's spread it out. Yeah, not liking this. So let's try again. Just using some different colors. I'm gonna use the black again, or the Payne's gray, the light green, a little bit of that gold again, some silver. And let's just try to do it again. The thing with doing it on a dry surface, you know, you just never know what you're gonna get. Oh, look at there. Got some really cool cells, some cool webbing effect. Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah, and that's the Amsterdam paint is what causes that webbing effect. And this looks like a flower. I'm not quite sure this is really what I want to do. So I might be changing this up here pretty quickly. You know how I said that at the very beginning that it's going to be a Dutch pour, but you know from seeing the very beginning intro, it's not a Dutch pour. So here I'm just taking my tool and I'm just playing with it right now to decide what it is that I want to do. Kind of making like some starburst. I've done a painting similar to this in the past, and I'll link that one here too. And that was a really big painting, and that's all I did. I kind of made a pinwheel, if you will, from it. So I'm not quite sure I like this just because it's got a lot of white through it. So let me try again the Dutch pour, maybe a little differently layered maybe. So let's just do some gold and some Payne's gray here, some dark green maybe, and then maybe some silver too as well. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, that's not Payne's gray, that's dark green. Yeah, see, I'm not liking that. So let's try to use these colors and swipe it again. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get there, but I'm just gonna kind of let you see this in a faster speed like I'm doing right now and just see how I get there. And my thought process along this is just kind of playing like I did with the last one. If you saw the last video, that's all I did at the end was I just started playing with it. And that's really what I think I'm gonna, well, I know because I'm commentating right now, but I know I'm going to just continue to play with this. But as you can see, you know, what's kind of cool is you can kind of see the cells popping through the swiping, and I like that. So I'm just going to continue to do that, adding in a little bit of color here, a little bit of color there. And I said I was going to let you just watch this, but I keep talking. So anyway, I'll let you watch this, listen to the music, and just enjoy the calmness of the creation. I like this, so I'm going to keep going with this. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed watching how I make these starbursts. They're swipe starbursts, really. Just taking color and putting a little dab here and there of where I feel like I need color. But now I feel like there needs to be something more to it. So now let's have some fun. And let's just put color where color needs to go. So I'm just taking my stick that I used to stir with, and I am just dribbling or dripping paint onto the areas that need to have paint. So like just now, I just put that gold up in that upper right hand corner because there's so much dark there. So it just kind of helps pop that gold there. And I'm gonna take all the different colors that I've got. So I'll be doing white next, and the white just really pops against some of this other color. So I really like this. This is one of those techniques I like to use when my composition hasn't quite worked out the way I've wanted it to. So I create this like fun, chaotic composition that just expresses how I'm feeling at this moment in time, because I'm not quite exactly happy with the composition. And so doing this, just like I just get to like have splatters of fun anyway. And that's kind of why this painting is called Layers of Beautiful Fun. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. And don't forget to subscribe and to click. And please comment down below about any types of things that you liked about this particular painting.
Okay, so I have my tester on here because I always like to test things that I did even with the swipes before. So I have my tester here. I've got my paints over here that I've put cups over top of them. I'm going to be putting the paint, let me move my circles over here. I'm going to be putting the paint on this and then dipping this here and then on here. That's how I'm going to transfer the paint. So let me get started with that. And it's probably going to be just, you know, different colors as needed. And what that's going to look like, I'm kind of just going to you know, I don't know, just kind of make some swirls with some color and yeah, just kind of go from there. So and these have been sitting for a little bit. They do have silicone in them. I did not, I don't know, try to make different colors again. Here, I'm going to put this over here so you can see it as I'm putting it on there. But as I am using the paint, I need to re-stir it because it's been sitting here for about a week again. And then I just put cups over top of it to keep it so that it was going to stay good. Because the last thing you really want to do is have to mix colors each time that you want to do this. So this time I happen to just use these cups and just keep them in the cups. But a lot of times I'll use some tea bottles, and those tea bottles work really well if you've got quite a bit of it still left. So let's get some gold in there. And you don't want to scrape the sides because the sides are dry. So I'm just stirring the bottom and then just allowing it to come out. Okay, because if I stir it on the sides, I'm going to get flecks of paint, dry paint in it, and I don't want that. Okay, here's some black. This is kind of a... It was I think that was the off-white, and I think this is the true white. Yep. I'm just trying to get all the colors that I have on the paintings throughout this. Whoops, I probably didn't want to do that, but that's okay. Last one is the darker green. I guess it's more of the medium green because I already put the dark green in there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these off to the side, this paint again, for probably later. I'm going to still continue to work with different techniques on this. I'm going to put this off to the side. And I'm not looking at doing a bunch of different sizes, but I do have the smaller one, which is a little larger than that one. I have this large one, and then this smaller medium-sized one. So I've just got 4 different sizes. If I feel like I need to just use one size over the other, I'll just do that. But for now, I'm just going to kind of move this all over so I can get different colors in the different areas. So I can transfer. You can see that it's got cells in there too. So, okay. So let's just try it with, actually let's try it with a plastic one. So let's just go here. So I've got it on there. And then I transfer it there. Okay, so that one makes kind of like a double ring. So not quite sure I want that. So let me just kind of put that off to the side. We'll see. Let's see what this one does. Not bad, but see how it's got the different colors? That's what I'm kind of looking for. So that one's okay. Oops, get my plastic out of the way. Yep, that looks good. I still may use that small one. And then let's see what this one looks like. Different, it's a paper towel. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so I think the key here is I think I'm gonna start with my larger ones and not put as much paint on it and not push it down, just lightly put it down. So maybe like, let me just, hold on. Let me just kind of put it on the top of the surface of the paint, get some paint, and then just barely put it down and then up. Yeah, like it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get this out of the way and let's get started. The first ones I wanna do are the larger ones. So let me put that in here, get it in my paint, bring it up, put one right here, up, let's do one here, up, if you are making multiple different of the same type of thing like I'm doing with the circles, so the same shape, if you will, just know that the eye likes odd. I know we tend to want to do even numbers, but really the eye likes odd. So I've got so far 3 on here. So I want to make sure that I have, I'm going to do probably 5 of these ones. Let's see, I'll put one here. Okay, so there's 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and start some of my center stuff. I think I'm going to also add a little bit more white to this to have them pop a little bit more. Let me get some more white. Whoops. That's a big blob of white. I can't tell if you can see it, but it's right there. So yep, you can see it. All right, well let's kind of move it into the colors. Let it flow. Okay. So maybe I'll go ahead and do 2 more. Some white in there. And then I push that down too hard. I don't like that thick of one, but I'm going to put that one off to the side. And then use my next medium-sized one. And I like to overlay stuff, so you might consider doing some of that too as well. And I'm going to get some that doesn't have the white like the other ones. I want all white. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more non-white one. There. Okay. All right, so I got those ones done. Now the next ones are, I'm going to do this smaller one. So this is just a little bit smaller than that one, but not as small as the paper towel. So let me get some of those going. I'm liking it. And then let's go ahead and do the other one. Okay, quite a bit of white through here, so I'm going to do a white one over here. So let me get kind of that. More of a white, I should say. There we go. There. I think I'm going to do a color one there. I'll link those together. What do you think? I like it. Now the question is, do I do that on my other one? That's the big question. Oh, there's like a bunch of space in here, so let me grab medium one here. Your eye to those 4 there. I like using the cardboard best, to be honest with you. It has a thinner one for this one, just happens to be a little bit thinner, so I like that. I'm going to redo this one right here. So I like that better, but it's kind of up to you what your preferred, you know, is. I think I'll do, I'm going to get some on there, then I'm going to dab it, but then I'm going to come right here. Go. So it's kind of like a half circle. Okay, I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna let that dry, and I may do some more fun stuff with this one. I haven't decided. I was thinking about maybe doing some triangles too, but I don't know. This kind of is looking good. So, all right. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that way you can get notified when I have a new video up. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.